Hey, hello world. It's Tuesday, January 26th, and I'm following up with another sterling rendition of Another Day in a Life, or Do or Die, an American home video journal, from Austin Emil Centolella, online known as ACENT2112. Yes, it's feeble, and it's paltry how I'm pulling this off, having the nerve to put my face on the internet after all these years. I thought today I would go through my bookshelves in my room, my DVDs, and basically pull off some DVDs off the shelf for material rather than just rant and rave, as I've been known to spout out in the past. If I can get rid of that glare off the camera. Maybe I can't. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to bring in this notion that these are the motivations that I work with as a musician and a father and a man these days, 2010. These are the movies, over the years I've pruned through hundreds of DVDs and CDs and cassette tapes and record LPs, and I ended up with very little ultimately, but through my own selection, because I figure most of the material I'm going to start looking for these days in media is going to go on digital distribution or online distribution anyway. I mean, my hair is wet, it's not too stylized, I just got out of the shower, but I figure most media is going to be, its memory storage is insignificant. I live with a lot of crap around me all the time, and I hate it. I hate the fact that I got even old papers that I've kept over the years, in storage and file. So I'm looking at, what I have is kind of like the cream of the crop that over years I've acquired or retrieved. I used to buy some DVD movies. I get them on VHS, and over the years give them away, lose them, whatever, and rebuy titles over the years because they had that much personal something to it that I wanted to keep it in my experience and keep reviewing them, over years, over decades. Crazy as that sounds. Like it. All right, so I thought I'd explore some motivation today. All right. I mean, this is for my parents and people I haven't had relationships with in general. I mean, I'm kind of in the past right now, but trying to make sense of it too. I mean, this could have been me on the island of Fiji or anywhere in the world, overseas in service, for employment, whatever, and I didn't have the opportunity to have contact with the people that I thought I should have, in my family and spouses and things. I keep looking at myself in the image in the camera because it's choppy and it seems to be a little bit off today for some reason with the glare and things. Let me just maybe take my face off the computer and just talk to the camera. I'll do that. The computer's moving slow, copying files. Okay, maybe I'll be more natural if I just look at my computer and have a little picture of Kate Bush on there when she was 17, Lionheart record, and, with her big hair and red, big lips, big eyes. Alright, here we go. This was the first movie I had gone to the theater with by myself. This is the first one that I saw as a kid. I think I was 11, 12. At the Sangertown Mall, or was it Riverside Mall in upstate New York. And I went and I saw it like more than once. Paid to see it more than once. I thought this movie was so great. It must have been like 12, under 12. And it was great. It was the first time I sat in a theater chair by myself. And I went and saw this. This was the one. I just wanted to go back in time a little bit, explain to my parents, or who, like I say before, any old friends that might be talking to me or whatever. This is crazy, Austin. I got time. Here's how I'm going to be. I'm going to be as constructive and make sense of things as possible, rather than climb the walls with the repression and get worse. Basically, I had this kind of like a statement outline. Let me break the track of thought here. Look, This is for the comedian Artie Lang. I was thinking of before I made this, before I hit the button to put the camera on this morning. And I was thinking, I heard the radio this morning with the radio guys again. There's this one channel that I listen to mostly, and it's irrelevant if I mention them by name. I don't have any grievances or anything against these people personally. And they're entertainment at this point to me. But what I'm saying is from that radio show they had on a guy that was in mentioning, you know, they mentioned the tidbits of the tabloids and, you know, daily press. It's been mentioned, you know, how, you know, the comedian Artie Lang, Howard Stern show guy from Mad TV in the movies, the comedian, stand-up comic. You know how he went off the deep end. It's not that impersonal to me. It's not overly personal to me that I got to transfer and over-identify. What it is that, you know, I lost my uncle. I made the video yesterday for 50 minutes or whatever the hell it was I put on YouTube. I mentioned him. I showed my Uncle Dennis. He's in my memory because he died of heroin. And what's in my memory about heroin is the fact that it was mentioned on the radio just this last week. They rebroadcast this local guy that was a heroin user who is supposedly just starting out on his recovery after decades of being on heroin. And he's a Vietnam vet, he claimed. And he's in my locale, and he's out there on the street, G-Dog or whatever the hell he is. You know, the hustle for the, you know, the hustler name, and now he's, you know, he's only days clean, you know. And I'm thinking, and Artie Lang was mentioned recently too, and in the name, and then my Uncle Dennis came to personal memory, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm just coping with the issue and the item, and reacting. It's a reaction. So I started thinking, you know, we got to make it. You know, I didn't do heroin. And I'm not going to do heroin, and I don't look for heroin, but I used to look for the high. I used to look for, you know, pot. I used to look for people who hung out, spent their days just to get together, put the music on, you know, duck the radar more or less. And I guess, you know, it might have, you know, I can't do it. You know, I can't do that. Those options are not there now. I'm not doing it. I'm not looking for that kind of existence at this point in my life, at this age. So I'm going back. I'm thinking we got to make it somehow, and I'm thinking let me just come up with some grips with some terms that I have to face, and just share. You know what I mean? This is like I'm the guy, you know, I'm the absent guy from the meeting, the NA meeting, the 12-step meeting, or the group or whatever. Because I'm not dependent on going to meetings and running out the house to be there on time to put my shoes on the right way and everything to catch up with everybody, just to do what I'm doing right here, which is that little block of time you get to share your personal, whatever it is you have to say, as long as you keep showing up. That's the whole gimmick behind recovery, and it's valid, it's true, is that you have to keep choosing every day to show up. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep facing the water underneath the surface. So you have, you know, the turmoil that's underneath the surface level. You have to keep facing your motivations and drives, and stop and substitute more healthy option and redirect yourself to a better choice than where you're coming from, that puts you in a jail, institution, or death situation. Right, so I'm sharing, and I've been expressing myself about the holidays, you know, and my, you know, and my rage more or less, and being let down and all these things. But this is how I want to remember my childhood. I remember my childhood. This is me in my childhood. The Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, the whole Ape series movies, Charlton Heston, and basically Roddy McDowell. And this was the one, though, that you'll never see again. This is the one you'll never hear of again either. This is the one that said the man was bad, and they were all dressed in black like fascists, the governor, you know? And it was like a race riot instigator, you know, questionably, about who had the power and who was righteous. And, you know, there were fights in California back then. And this is when in Utica, I remember the architecture changed with like the buildings that were being built, like Kennedy Plaza, things like that. Those were, I remember, you know, that this was, those were, you know, 73, whatever it was, 72, 73. You know, I was a little boy, don't get me wrong, but I remember this stuff. I remember how people acted towards me. I had long hair. My mother used to keep me with long hair. Everybody used to call me a little girl.